and we are going to go ahead and get this program started. We'll start off with our Chief Operations Officer for Caddo Parish Public Schools, Patrick Greer.
Good morning, everybody. If you all are looking at your agendas or your programs this morning, you will see that welcoming remarks would have or should have been coming from Dr. Gorey. Please don't hold that against me this morning. What we're going to do, first and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge again our students from the various schools. We have Captain Shreve in the back, we have Bird, we have Southwood, and I believe according to the agenda, we also have Caddo Magna High. So let's give them a big round of applause again. Thank them for their services this morning as far as being the greeters as well as for the entertainment. Okay, so I'd like to officially welcome everybody out to the Lee Hedges ribbon cutting ceremony. If you had that on your calendar and you're here, then guess what? You're in the right place. All right, so before I go any further, I'd like to recognize our board members. If they would stand, please, just give a wave. We have our board president, Ms. Jessica Yates. We have Dr. Benita Dozart, also a board member. We have there's Mr. Barry Rochelle in the back hanging out there. All right. Okay, so again, would like to thank you for making time for this event this morning. It's been a long time coming. We were very excited about the prospects of the partnership, and I must add a long-standing partnership with Willis Knighton and Caddo Parish Schools. So a lot of this wouldn't be possible. I'm going to steal an opportunity to just throw some thanks out there. These conversations actually began with myself, Mr. Tisdale, the athletic supervisor for the district, Dr. Riley for Willis Knighton, and Miss Sutter. I don't know if she's out this morning. Okay, there you are. Okay. And so we actually had these conversations behind closed doors in terms of what would be some possibilities with this partnership going forward. And Willis Knighton, I have to admit, they were very willing and accommodating in the sense of whatever they felt they could do to help us improve the circumstances throughout the district. So I like to refer to this stadium as the Old Girl. This is our flagship stadium, and much of what you're going to see once we get to the tour part this morning was very much needed, and as I mentioned earlier, a long time coming. So with that being said, again, I want to officially thank everybody for making time for us this morning. We appreciate you taking this opportunity to see what we've done to the facility, and just know that none of this would have been possible without the collaboration with our partners from Willis Knighton.
Jeff Fielder, President and Chief Executive Officer of Willis Knighton Health.
Thank you, Mr. Greer. I appreciate those comments, and welcome everybody to Lee Hedges Stadium today. Over the past 15 years, Willis Knighton has developed a very strong relationship with several schools in the region by providing sports medicine coverage to student athletes. The continuity of care that our physicians and our athletic trainers provide under the leadership of Dr. Mark Callanan is unmatched in our community. A couple of years ago, as Mr. Greer said, we met with Caddo Parish School Board officials to come up with a way that we could strengthen our sports medicine partnership with Caddo Parish Schools. So we proposed a partnership to come together to partner on the remodeling of the restrooms, locker rooms, and other support areas under both sides of the bleachers. And in return, Caddo Parish Schools awarded Willis Knighton with a 10-year exclusive sports medicine contract for every high school in Caddo Parish. Thank you. In addition to providing that sports medicine coverage, Willis Knighton is also providing AEDs to all of these high schools. AEDs are external defibrillators, automated external defibrillators. So anytime a student athlete or somebody in the fans for that matter were to have a cardiac arrest during an event, somebody could grab one of these AEDs and administer a shock to their heart and return them to normal heart rhythm. And we also are providing training classes for all the school officials and even some parents on how to use that equipment. We believe that all of our students should have access to qualified medical personnel that Willis-Knighton provides, as well as this equipment. Just to remind you how important these devices can be, how many of you remember the Buffalo Bills-Cincinnati Bengals game that happened 2 years ago, when Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin went down on the field with a cardiac arrest? If it hadn't have been for qualified medical personnel and these AEDs, I don't think Damar Hamlin would be here today, much less being able to continue to play football at a pro level. So we're happy to provide this coverage to Caddo Parish schools. We feel like that they should have the same type of access. You know, Willis-Knighton's mission has always been to continue to provide and improve the health and well-being of the people we have in this community. We also support projects that have a meaningful impact in improving the quality of life here. Clearly, this project reinforces our commitment to community. Sports medicine for all student athletes in Caddo, better facilities for our teams and our fans, and a quality location for athletic and community events in the future. And as we bid goodbye to Dr. Goree, we're sad to see him leave, but he knows that he leaves behind a stadium for everybody in Caddo Parish to enjoy for many years to come. And Willis-Knighton is happy to be a part of this restoration, as it continues to be a fitting tribute to a very well-respected coach, the late Lee Hedges. So thank you, Dr. Goree. Thank you, Caddo Parish School Board, for allowing us to be a part of this project. And thank you for allowing Willis-Knighton to continue to provide the student athletes of Caddo Parish with the best sports medicine coverage in this area. Thank you.
And today is all about the students. This investment was for them, the students of Caddo Parish Public Schools. So at this time, I would like to bring up Captain Shreve's cheerleaders for a performance. Bring back up Mr. Greer for some closing remarks.
All right, let's give him another round of applause. I don't know about you guys, but it almost makes me feel like looking over to the area to our left there and waiting for the football teams to run out on the field. So, before we go any further, I spoke briefly about the genesis of this project and just talked with you about the persons that were around the table. There are some specific kudos and some praises that I would like to extend to a handful of folks that were actually working behind the scenes to get this work done. But before I step into that arena, I want to thank the athletic programs and the schools that were affected: Byrd, Captain Shreve, Huntington, Southwood, Woodlawn, the other schools that utilize this stadium as their home field on any given night during the football season, because they had to make some significant accommodations in terms of just being able to not have this as their main venue. So that took a lot of work, a lot of hard conversations behind the scenes. Mr. Tisdale led a lot of those conversations with the principals, with the coaches, with the athletic directors. And guess what? It wasn't always well received, but we kept the big picture in mind. And we knew that at the end of the day, we were going to have a much better facility and that everybody would appreciate what we had going on once they got a chance to see the finished product. So just wanted to extend some kudos and some praises there. Also, I spoke about the Willis-Knighton team under the leadership of Mr. Fielder, who once he began with conversations with our team after we came up with the plan, nothing but support. There was never, no, we can't do that. I don't think we ought to go in that direction. It was always, however we can help. And that's very rare in this day and time. So it's proof positive, folks, of what comes out of very productive partnerships between school systems and the community partners. So again, I just want to extend another round of applause to our folks at Willis-Knighton. And I would be remiss if I did not give some kudos to the folks standing over to my left. They love playing behind the scenes, but they're the folks that get the work done. Our capital projects and construction crew, under the leadership of our director, Mr. Steve White. You have, Steve, if you would wave for us over there. Also has project managers, Mr. James Cooley, Amy Simon over there, if you guys would wave. All right, I can't forget our Chief Finance Officer, Mr. Jeff Howard. A lot of times we hear the words, no, 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 but he was all yeses on this project. So thank you, Jeff, for your support with that. Okay, and also before I get ready to turn it over to our esteemed superintendent for some remarks, I want to again thank our administrators and our coaches, again, for your terrific sacrifice over the course of this year. It really offset a lot of what they had plans, especially for our outgoing seniors, but I think the sacrifice was well worth it. So again, thank you all. All right, Dr. Gorey.
Thank you so much, Mr. Greer, and thank you everyone for coming out today. I tell you, this is a day that I have dreamed about. It is certainly one. I'm so excited that we have the opportunity to welcome our community back into our beloved Lee Hedges fields. I too want to start off by thanking the students in the schools that were greatly affected by this year of not having this stadium here. We knew it would be an impact, but to hear the stories from students and how it impacted them truly touched my heart. And what I would tell you is that your gift was a sacrifice for so many students to come behind you. And that's what we generally do in life. We learn the importance, especially those of you that are seniors, as you prepare to cross the stage. I'm just so glad that this is another example of where you've learned the importance of giving, and that we give so that the next generation will have a better opportunity. And that's certainly what we did in this situation. And we're so excited to welcome students and our community back into this beautiful stadium. This stadium serves as a meeting place for families, for communities to come together, to share thoughts, to share feelings, and to enjoy friendly competition, and to really know what it means to really excel at things and to be great and to continue to be great. So really excited that we have this hub back in our community. I'd also, of course, be remiss if I didn't thank our friends at Willis-Knighton for your partnership in this effort and everything that will be done here so that we can continue to support healthy student athletes as we move forward, because the partnership, certainly a big part of it is in the renovations, but more importantly, it's the things that's going to happen as you support our student athletes in their health and as they move forward. Of course, got to thank our board members for being here today, our president, Ms. Yates, as well as Dr. Dozart, as well as the entire board for continuing to support this effort. Because we received a lot of phone calls, and there were some very unhappy citizens. But again, we saw the long run, and we know that in the end game, everyone's going to be happy with this wonderful, wonderful project. Again, I thank Mr. Greer and his entire team, our finance team, for their work to get this project completed. And most importantly, what this work is all about today, tomorrow, and will always be about the students, about our cheerleaders, about our athletes, about every child, about that kindergartner that's going to grow up and play in this stadium or cheer on the sidelines here. That's what it's all about, and it is our pleasure, students, to pass this facility back to you. It's our pleasure to pass this on so that you can continue to grow and to excel and to do the amazing things that we know that you will do because of all the life skills that you learned right here at Lee Hedges. So again, thank you all for coming out today. Thank our media partners for helping us to tell this wonderful story about what's happened at Lee Hedges Stadium. Thank you.
And now we are going to close out our program with performance from the C.E. Bird High Steppers. million renovation project.
All right, you guys can stay with us right here. We are just going to go ahead and move to the area of those red balloons to give you guys an up close and personal look at that ribbon cutting. A lot of people from the community coming out and students across Caddo Parish coming out to be involved in this celebration of the reopening of Lee Hedges Stadium. For more details, you can see it right here on ktalnews.com. As we take a moment to allow our camera crew to get over to where this ribbon cutting will take place. Here are the red balloons, and here is where the ribbon cutting ceremony will take place. We see cheerleaders going ahead and making their way to celebrate this accomplishment. Band members, football players, cheerleaders, and high steppers all in attendance to celebrate the grand reveal of Lee Hedges Stadium.
All right, y'all, we're going to have everybody to look here for the pictures before we officially cut. So there are several different media ops, so we'll start here on the left when everybody gets ready. Yes, let's look right here first. Look right here. And we're just going to hold position. Anybody else? And then I'll make sure I have space I need. All right, perfect. All right, everybody look this way right here for me, this camera here. All right, keep looking. All right, one more camera. Everybody look my way, and then we'll get ready to cut. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and cut it.
Okay, we're going to do this, guys. We're going to cut on the count of 3. On the count of 3, you're going to yell, "We on tap," okay? All right. 1, 2, 3. We are
And there it is, a momentous celebration as Dr. Lamar Gorey cuts that ribbon and opens the way for Lee Hedges Stadium. All the renovations and details of that will be seen right here on ktalnews.com. You can also see an update later on in our newscast